Hey fam, what's good, I hope that you're well and keeping safe. Welcome back to the only channel, publishing Nas100 breakdowns on a weekly basis, back to back. So let's get it. As you know, last week we had two targets. We had 16,200, we had 16,000. We smacked both of them. So if you caught the move towards the downside, hey, I'm gonna do this and give you like a digital fist pump, Well done on your profits, okay? So without wasting no time, let's get into the charts. So basically I'm going to start off with the weekly time frame. I'm going to start off where we basically finished. Okay. So for the weekly time frame, as you can see, Nas100 basically left us with a nice big candle. Now just looking at the formations, of what is happening currently over here. As you can see, we do have this previous area of resistance now turned into support. We broke out of it. We haven't came back for a proper retest just of yet, So 15,700 could be our best friend if we gonna have a move back towards the downside. We can see we are tapping in high territory. So we are, we are like expecting an actual correction towards the downside. Now, with this bear candle which we have over here, can you see that we basically closed inside of this bull candle over here? So this is basically indicating to us that we have an actual inside bar. Now the psychology of an actual inside bar would basically be that we can potentially see price head back towards the downside. In this case, our weekly time frame is bullish, so we are waiting for an actual correction. So if we're gonna have the actual correction, we can look at 15,700 as an actual target. Okay, now if we want to move towards the downside, which time frame will basically fuel us? It will basically be our daily time frame. Okay, now can you see just with structure on our daily time frame? We have a low, we have a higher low, we have a higher low, we have a high, we have a higher high, we have another higher high over there. So we are clearly bullish in structure on our actual daily time frame. Now, do we want structure to remain bullish, or do we want structure to turn into a bearish move so that we can have a potential downside movement on our weekly time frame? Well, we want our daily time frame to be bearish so that we can have a move towards the downside. Okay, and something that is super important, if you're gonna have an actual direction, you always should make sure that you have targets in set. Okay, so just for interest sake, if we're gonna have to move towards the upside, our targets could basically be at 16,460, and if we break above, our targets would then basically be this actual trend line over there. If we're gonna have a move towards the downside, 15,700 would basically be our best friend. Okay, so can you see that there's two things that can happen on our actual daily time frame? If I'm gonna box out this region over here that will be serving as an actual area of resistance, we can basically see, we can potentially hit price back into this region, reject it, and have a move towards the downside. And if we're gonna have this actual move, what will it be? It will be a nice charting pattern called a double top formation. Okay, showing us basically that we are changing our structure from this bull market into an actual bear market, and that is basically what we want, to have that move towards the downside. Okay, that is number one. Number two, price can easily just head towards the outside and just smack towards the downside. Now this will then serve as the actual high, so this would then basically be our lower high, indicating to us that we are changing the structure in general. Okay, now knowing that our daily time frame, we still bullish, we wanted to change bearish, so a time frame that would basically fuel our daily time frame would now be our 4-hourly time frame. And as you know by now, our 4-hourly time frame would basically be the time frame where we basically look for our direction, our confluences on where we can potentially take price. Okay, now can you see with this move which we had over here, if I'm box it out like this, can you see that we had a break below? We haven't came back for proper retest just of yet. Now some may be like, hey, there's then a wick thrown towards the outside and then we came towards the downside. Yes, it's not a 4-hourly proper retest. So, if I'm going to have to do this, a proper retest for me would basically be that, it would basically be 2 consecutive candles thrown towards the upside, 2 or 3, but more than 1 candle thrown towards the upside, and then a move back towards the downside. So that I will consider as an actual proper retracement or correction. In this case, it was just a wick thrown towards the upside, and then we threw price towards the downside. Now this would basically be a lower time frame correction, not a 4-hourly time frame correction. Okay, I hope that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. Now, looking at current price, just looking at the actual structure, if I'm a start over here, we do have this high, lower high, to a market giving us a what? An actual higher high over there. Now, this bullish structure, is it going hand in hand with the pullback which we want on our weekly time frame? No, it's not. We want these time frames to change the structure from this bull market to an actual bear market. Okay, now we basically gonna prep ourselves for a potential move towards the downside. Now, if we're gonna have to move towards the upside, this would then now basically be an actual target, which I will be looking at as 15 or 16 to 80. Okay, let me just box it out like that. We're going to be looking at 16 to 80. Okay. 16 to 80 as an actual target. Now, can you see with these actual highs which we have over here? What do you think what I'm going to do? I'm going to get myself an actual trend line, from this region and just extend it like this. Now, can you see that we have an actual first touch, second touch over here, so we can expect an actual third touch, for a potential move back towards the downside. Now, second question would basically be, if we're gonna have the move towards the upside, tap into this actual trend line, if we're gonna hit towards the downside, where will our targets basically be? Can you see? Yes, we have this overall target as 15,700, but can you see that in this actual box which we have over here, we had some sort of an actual consolidation happening over here. We broke above and haven't came back for the retest just of yet. Okay, so if we're gonna have a move towards the upside, wait for the necessary confluence to take price back towards the downside, back into price. Let's see. Where's this nice psychological round number? Let's take it back into 16,080. Okay, 16,080. 16,080. Okay, so if we're gonna have a move towards the upside, wait for the necessary to take price back towards the downside, back into 16,080. Okay, now another actual added confluence would basically be, if I can zoom out this chart just a little bit, can you see these actual higher lows which the market have created over here? Now, I'm basically going to have an actual trend line drawn out from this region and basically just extend it like this and, just zoom in just a little bit. Okay. Can you now see that, we had a nice break out of this actual trend line. We haven't came back for an actual retest just of yet. So, can we see price head towards the upside? Wait for the necessary and take price back towards the downside, back into, 16,080. Wait for the necessary to, to reveal itself. We can potentially hit back towards the upside and then have a dump towards the downside. The important thing we basically want at this point would now be, we want our structure to change from bull to bear. And we want the structure to change from our actual 4-hourly time frame, because our 4-hourly time frame would now fuel our daily time frame to head towards the downside. And if our daily time frame changes its structure from bull to bear, now we will know that our weekly time frame is going to come towards the downside. Can you see how we're painting that actual puzzle? And can you see how we need to be reactive? Okay, being predictive, that's cool, but being reactive is more important. Okay, we here to learn. We here to learn. Keep that in mind. We students of the markets. We here to learn. Okay, so if our 4 hourly changes structure from this bull market to a bear market, we can have a potential continuation back down into 15,700. Okay, so that is our actual bear movement. Now what if Nasdaq is just going to continue towards the upside? Well, it would be quite easy. If I'm going to remove this actual trend line, wait for a break, wait for the retest, and then take price way back towards the upside. Now you can basically take it back towards the upside, back into the actual highs. Or, if you're going to have this as an actual swing trade, where can we potentially see price hit back into? Basically back into this actual trend line over there. Okay, short, sweet, to the T. I hope that you have a clean understanding of what I just went through. I don't want to make this too long. So if there's any questions, drop it inside the comment section. If you like this content, hit that like button, hit that sub button, and for those who has been hitting that like button, that sub button, hey, I appreciate you. Thank you for supporting.